Whoa. He's in hot water. He's in hot water. Do you know what that means? Well, in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 10 meanings of hot. Do you know 10 meanings of the word hot? If not, smash that like button and let's get rolling. So, he's in hot water over his misogynistic remarks. What does that mean? He's in hot water. That means he's in trouble. Okay, very often politicians say things that get them in trouble. Everybody starts criticizing them, right? Hey, you said this or you did that, right? So the word remark means something you say. Okay, so politicians are always making remarks, right? So this politician is in hot water. That means everybody's criticizing him. Why? Over, that means because, or for. They're criticizing him for his misogynistic remarks. Now, what does misogyny mean? Misogyny is the idea that men are better than women. What do you think? Are men better than women? So that idea is called misogyny. The noun is misogyny, and the adjective is misogynistic. Okay, so his remarks, this is the noun, and so this is the adjective. What kind of remarks were they? Were they nice remarks? Were they bad remarks? Were they happy remarks? Well, they were misogynistic remarks. Okay, so adjectives answer the question, what kind? Yeah, what kind of remarks were they? Misogynistic. So this politician may have said something like, I didn't appoint any women to my cabinet because women are dumb. Maybe he said something like that, right? So if he would say something like women are dumb, well, people would accuse him of misogyny. They'd say, you are in hot water, buddy. You're in hot water because you made misogynistic remarks. Okay, so usually when we use this term hot water, we use this word over, but it means for. You could also say for. He's in hot water for his stupid remarks, right? But, over is more natural in this situation. He's in hot water over his misogynistic remarks. Have you ever been in hot water over something you said? So, yeah, it just means that everybody is criticizing him and he's in a lot of trouble, right? Look at this example. The company is in hot water for raising its prices. Okay, so, sometimes companies raise their prices and everybody gets mad. Hey, I don't want to pay more for that product. You greedy people. People get mad and they start accusing the company. So a company can be in hot water or a person can be in hot water. Okay, so there's one meaning of hot. It means you're in trouble. People are accusing you, right? Look at this meaning. She is hot. What does that mean? She is hot. Well, it probably means she is beautiful, right? Beautiful and attractive. Okay, the word hot, if a person is hot, they are, well, either beautiful or handsome. They're attractive, right? So she is hot probably means she's beautiful. But it could also mean like temperature-wise, right? If you have, imagine if you are a mother and you are worried that your daughter has a fever. Right? So you go like this, you're touching, feeling her face, And you say, well, she's hot. She's hot. Well, that means you're talking about her body's physical temperature, right? Maybe she has a temperature, so she's hot. So it could mean that. And the same goes for food, okay? So if we talk about, this food is hot. This food is hot. Well, the most basic meaning is we're talking about the temperature, right? If you're eating hot soup, you don't want to eat it too fast, otherwise it's going to burn your mouth, right? So food is hot. Some foods need to be eaten hot. Soup. I mean, do people eat cold soup? Some people like cold pizza. Some people prefer cold pizza to hot pizza. How about you? Would you rather have cold pizza or hot pizza? For me, I like both, but I prefer fresh hot pizza. It's great. So the food is hot. It could be the temperature, right? We could be talking about the physical temperature, but it could also mean spicy. And that's why this is kind of confusing when we talk about food. Now, the easiest way to avoid this confusion is just to use the word spicy. Okay? The word spicy means that there's a lot of pepper, right? Maybe red pepper or black pepper. It kind of burns your mouth because it's spicy. So for me, I never use the word hot to talk about spicy food. I always use the word spicy to avoid confusion, right? It's a good idea to use words and phrases that help avoid confusion. Okay, but most of the time this is very easy to know based on the context, right? Like if you're eating with someone and they say the food is hot, you probably will be able to tell whether they're talking about spicy or physically hot, right? You're not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. Most of the time we can know this, right? I think British people use the word hot more to talk about spicy. Like I said, I never do it. If something is spicy, I say it's spicy. Okay, but I think a lot of British people and maybe Australians, I'm not sure, they use the word hot to mean spicy. And people do it here too in Canada and the US, but I don't think it's as common here. How about you? Do you use the word spicy or do you use the word hot to mean spicy? I don't know. You'll figure it out, guys. So next meaning is hot topic or a hot issue. What does it mean if an issue or a topic is hot? Well, it means that it's popular. Okay, everybody's talking about it. If something, happens in society, let's say there's a topic like aliens, where did this come from? If a whole bunch of people see crazy things in the sky, see aliens or something like that, and everybody's talking about it, well, then aliens, that topic is hot. It's a hot topic or a hot issue, So anything that a lot of people are talking about. So it's a popular topic or popular issue is a hot issue. Now here's a meaning that you might never have heard of before. Hot and cold can mean near and far. Okay, especially when we're talking about a game that people play where you direct someone else to find something that's hidden. Okay? So imagine if I have if I hide a gift for you. Let's say it's your birthday and I want to give you a gift, but I kind of want to have some fun with it. So I hide the gift somewhere. Let's say I hide the gift under my desk, okay? And then I tell you, you have to find it. And then let's say you start walking over there. And I'd say cold, colder, colder, colder. And then if I say colder, you know you're going in the wrong direction. So then you turn around, you start coming this way, and I'd say warmer, warmer, warmer. And if you go that way, then I say cooler or colder, colder, colder. And then you turn it back this way, warmer, 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 hot, hot. So when you're right close to it, then you say hot, hot, super hot. That means you're right there. You're very near the gift, or you're near the thing that has been hidden. Okay, do you have this in your culture too? I don't know. It's kind of a game that some people play for some reason. It just means near and far. Okay, let's look at the next one. So, hot news. Okay, now hot news, it's kind of the same as hot topic or hot issue, but actually with hot news, it kind of means recent, very recent news, hot off the press. Okay, if news is hot off the press, that means it just happened. It's a very current event. Okay, so if let's say some politician gets elected, let's say Donald Trump wins the elections and it happened like 5 minutes ago. Well, that's hot news, right? It's hot news. So, back when people used to read newspapers, like 20 years ago, right? People would get their news by buying newspapers. And the way newspapers were made is with a printing press. Okay, so a printing press would, would make the newspaper, and when the newspaper would come off the press, it would be hot, right? It would be physically hot. So that's why we call it hot news. It's hot off the press. I mean, something happened very recently, okay? So, yeah, so it kind of means, it could be, hot news could be really popular. Like it means popular too, right? It's news that everybody's talking about, but it means this, recent. It's very new. It's new news. It's not old news. Okay. Okay, now the next one is hot competition. Okay, have you ever heard this before? Hot competition. It means intense competition or stiff competition. Okay, so, imagine if some sports teams are very equally matched, right? It's like kind of hot competition. If one team is way better than the other team, well, it's not going to be hot competition for the good team. It might be hot competition for the bad team, right? Because they're going to have to try really hard to win. For example, the World Cup, soccer World Cup is happening next summer 2026 in Canada, US, and Mexico. Now imagine if Canada would get drawn into a group with Brazil and Germany and Japan, maybe, let's say. All right, so that the group would be Canada. There are 4 teams in a group, right? So it would be Canada, Brazil, Germany, and Japan. Man, that would be that would be hot competition for Canada. Canada would be facing stiff competition, right? I mean, can Canada beat Germany and Brazil and Japan? I don't know. That would be very stiff competition. It would be a hard group to get drawn into, and I think the groups will get drawn pretty quick. The groups have not been drawn yet. I think they're going to happen in the next few weeks at some point. So it'll be interesting to see the World Cup draw, how the groups get formed. But yeah, that's what it means, hot. It means a very intense competition. Okay, look at this. Hot favorite. Okay, this is another meaning. Look at this sentence. Brazil is the hot favorite to win the World Cup. So what does hot here mean? The hot favorite. It means it's very likely. Okay, so I mean, the word favorite means someone is the predicted winner. So if we say Brazil is the favorite to win the World Cup, yeah, that means Brazil, most people think Brazil is probably going to win. But if we say Brazil is the hot favorite, that means a lot of people are very sure that Brazil is going to win. Because, maybe they have an amazing team this year, right? So then we'd say Brazil is the hot favorite to win the World Cup. Does that make sense? So here's another example, hot temper. Okay, my wife has a hot temper. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that your wife gets angry very easily. She gets angry very easily, and when she gets angry, it's intense. All right, that's what the word temper means. Temper means you get angry easily, and it's just intense. Okay, do you have a temper? Do you have a hot temper? So yeah, that's what hot, kind of means fiery. If a person's got a hot temper, they're just like a fire, So yeah, it could mean hot could be used in this way too, right? Or look at this example, a hot streak. Okay, a hot streak. What does that mean? That means a sustained period of success. Okay, a sustained period of success. So very often we use this for sports teams. Okay, like imagine if a sports team wins like 20 games in a row. Wow, they're on a hot streak. Streak means a continuous line of wins or losses. So if a team is on a losing streak, maybe they lost 10 games in a row. Then they're on a really bad losing streak. But if they're on a hot streak, that's a good meaning. That means they're winning and winning and winning. It can also be used, for, let's say, anything. A sale. Let's say you work in sales. You're a salesperson, and you're just selling. Let's say your job is to sell printers, and every day you're selling a lot of printers, right? You're on a hot streak. You're succeeding. So it's a sustained period of success. It could be a sports team, it could be a company, it could be a person, whatever. Okay, now speaking of sports, you'll notice my hat here, right? My hat, I'm wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat. Now the Toronto Blue Jays are the only Canadian team in the MLB, Major League Baseball. Okay, so the highest baseball league is called the MLB, Major League Baseball. Most teams are in the US, like the New York Yankees, right? Canada has one team, and it's the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay, so the Toronto Blue Jays are now in the World Series, which means the final tournament before winning the whole thing. And I don't think it's been about 40 years, I think. It's been somewhere around 40 years since they won last time. All right, so it's been a long, long time since I think they won when I was a kid. Last time, maybe, I don't think it was quite 40 years ago, maybe 30 some years ago. So the Toronto Blue Jays have not won the World Series. Okay, the last tournament of 7. It's best of 7 games. That's called the World Series. Okay? And that's every baseball player's dream, is to win the World Series. So Toronto Blue Jays, they did win when I was a kid, but they haven't won since then. So now they are in the World Series. It hasn't started yet. It's starting in a few days. October 24th, 2025, this coming Friday. And Toronto is playing the LA Dodgers. LA Dodgers. Ooh, who's going to win? Toronto versus LA. I think if Toronto wins, a lot of Canadians, I think most people in Canada are going to be happy because this is Canada's only team. So if you come to Canada here, you'll notice a lot of people wear Toronto Blue Jays hats, even though they're not from Toronto. You know, for me, I've never lived near Toronto at all. I really have no reason to cheer for Toronto other than the fact that they are Canada's only team. Okay, so yeah. So we'll see what happens, guys. I hope they win. Wish us Canadians luck. I hope the Toronto Blue Jays win the World Series 2025 against LA. Oh man, it's going to be a tough series. But yeah, so Toronto, I mean, they had a good regular season, and then they had a great postseason, right? Post means when you're doing the playoffs. You know, you're having your postseason, and now it's the end of the postseason, which is the World Series. So yeah, the Blue Jays are on a hot streak. They're on a very hot streak. So we're gonna see. They beat the last team yesterday it was Seattle in Game 7. It went all the way to Game 7. So maybe the LA will be, maybe it'll go to 7 games as well. It'll be exciting. So anyway, guys, hope you're doing great. Those are the meanings of hot that I could think of. There might be more. If I forgot some meanings of hot, let me know down in the comments. But let's do some homework. I want you to make a sentence with hot. You can choose any meaning you want. And let me know your sentence down there in the comments. Guys, hope you're doing great today. As always, I love you very much. Hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy wherever you are. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.